What's up, team? We live in the dream. Robots are my business, and business, as they say, is alright. Yeah, going alright, cheers. Sound. Hope we're all good out there. I just got the one box for you today, and full disclosure, it's an official one. Just gonna be checking out a bit of gear from Hasbro Pulse, so if you'd like to come with me on that, you're welcome to. But first, I must say congratulations to Craig Munro, who won the Rise of the Beasts Blokey's Optimus Prime that we showed off last time. And, you know Craig, he drew Carpet Door. Fix. Yeah, I was surprised by that as well, though we had like 500 entries, and I picked one with a random number generator. And it was just Craig. Weird. So congrats, mate. Hope you enjoy both the model kit and the serendipity of that. Party on. Right, here we go, as mentioned, with a big box from Hasbro Pulse. Hope we're all good anyway. Hope we're having a cracking month so far. Not long till Transformers 1. Woo, here we go then, baby. So what we have today is a few items from the Comic Edition Transformers. Just 3 real nice, big, chunky, leader-class toy boxes, packed in these very lovely and very faithful sort of comic-style plastic-free book boxes with special, like, extra detail comic-style paint jobs and, like, some new accessories and whatnot. We'll get into it. These are 3 of the biggest characters from the early Marvel UK stories. Decepticon Straxus, Grimlock, and Shockwave. Hell yeah. These are all part of a set. I understand you can line them up and get some kind of 3-way spine artwork triptych on the go. I'll do some photos later. I'm not going to stand here and hold these awkwardly. So what I've said I'd do when Hasbro got in touch with me about this, I said I would do a cheeky unboxing video on all of them and then a big detailed review on one of them. So I'd like your feedback on this. We'll have a quick look at all of them, and then I would like you to let me know in the comments which of these you'd like a full detailed review on. Because we can do this today, and then I'll come back in like 6 weeks with the full review. You know the pace I work at. So this is Shockwave, and oh god, it doesn't get more iconic, does it, than Shockwave with the Transformers Are All Dead. This has got to be the most replicated image in all of Transformers toy photography. Strange selection of artwork here. You've got Shockwave on the back in red for some reason, okay? Was that like a Nel Yontov coloring error? And this very well-known image of Shockwave getting mad with his one hand. That's been memed to death, hasn't it? Grimlock here from the issue when the Dinobots were introduced, I guess. Oh, what was that other very famous cover of the Dinobots? I think it was just called the Dinobot War, and it was just stunning, semi-realistic imagery. But this is much more comic book vibe, baby. Dinobots on top again with, I guess, Ironhide? Snarl looking distinctively plateless for a stego. Oh. Takes the edge off the bombast, doesn't it? Yes! Grimlock with the blue head and the blue thighs. Grimlock leads a team of powerful Dinobot. We know. We know who Grimlock is. Just a cheeky little character introduction there. Beautiful cross-hatched artwork. Very moody. Ah, of course it's Ratchet. Of course it is. And a big, brilliant toy. Wonderful. And Straxus, gotta say, I'm slightly more excited about Straxus. The legendary Decepticon villain from the Smelting Pool and the Dark Mount Fortress and everything. Big beef with Blaster. Oh, hell yeah. That is nasty. Look at this guy. You'll know I love a big blue Decepticon, so obviously Straxus for me is the main event today. Don't know if that picture paints him in the best light. Blaster kicking the word bonk into his bum. Oh, my hero. Alright, let's bang these open. I fancy a bit of Grimlock to kick us off. I'm kind of enjoying the simplicity of this packaging. It doesn't look like I've got to slide it out or anything. Plastic free, no window. Just snap him out of there. Get on with it. Done. What was that, 10 seconds? God, that's a meaty lad. So we're no strangers to a Grimlock on this channel. We've had plenty of them passing through at various points. Animated, Masterpiece, the unofficial Giga Power one. Oh, he's got his crown! 3 little friggin' He-Man swords on the go. And the crown, wonderful. So this obviously is the Studio Series, Leader Class Grimlock mold. Let me get him, here we go. This is the regular retail release in gorgeous sort of toy-accurate black. And then we have the comic version with much blockier sort of solid yellow rather than the gold effect, with a couple of like reflecty stripes here. Those are so sick. And the blue head, that is doing something to me, baby. That looks good. good. That looks clean. Yeah, like for me, like growing up in the UK, robot mode Grimlock was always blue. I didn't watch that much of the cartoon as a kid. It was never on. Like, we watched the movie ad nauseum. He's in dino mode through most of that. So for me, the only place to really get robot mode Grimlock was in the comics when he was blue some of the time. I don't know. 3 swords on the go here. I don't know what the, I don't know if that's really a Grimlock move. Triple wielding with the double blade. It's blatantly just so you can give them to the other toys, isn't it? That's fine. But I think they did the same thing with Swoop. They packaged him with a bunch of weapons, Sludge and Snarl, and that were missing. God damn, that is so good. What do we give him the crown? There we are. Is that gonna sit on there? Yeah, it is. Oh, me ain't no bozo, mate. That's his catchphrase. Me Grimlock le epic, sir. Stay real, kings. That's so tight. What a toy this is, man, honestly. This, for me, is a serious wedge of toy. This is what a leader class toy probably should be. Like, you know, I respect the price point, like Astro Train and that, where they do just like a Voyager guy and give him loads of extra gear. Like Shockwave, you know the one. But for me, a leader class toy is best when it's just a big geezer. I'm just buzzing through this transformation because this is like the 3rd version of this guy I've got. We've got this guy and the regular one and the big neon yellow G2 one as well. It's like take your pick at this point. Which flavor of Grimlock do you prefer? Hello, gorgeous. This is a serving face. Yes, look at that face. He's got the old eyeliner looking very fabulous. Me Grimlock the bitch from Iacon City. Cheeky port there. Let me hook him up with a cheeky treat from the Siege Blast baggie. Oh, that's tremendous. Look at that. That's such a comic book moment. The shading is so good. I can't get over that. It reminds me of the, was it just called the Special Edition Siege Megatron? They did an Optimus as well, and it was just like cel-shaded vibes. This is that, but comic book. That Jeff Senior sort of hard black K-Zama shading. That is so dope. Let me get my blue one. We're doing a Godzilla tie-in, aren't we? Not massively impressed by the color schemes on the Godzilla tie-in. Like that Optimus Prime, like Kiryu. What is this that is Kiryu? It's grey? But yeah, boof. The old atomic bath move. That'll work for an all-black Grimlock, won't it? That's Godzilla. Ah, superb. That's decent. It's this guy again, but slightly more different. God, Grimlock's a lot of friggin' toy, man. Because he's big and he's endlessly fun. I'm just gonna get my other Dinobot lads. I don't have Swoop yet, but I've got other boys who need swords. Here we go. Snarl came with a sword, but he can have Grimlock's other blaster. Let's tool these boys up. They deserve it. Also got my G2 Grimlock just to check which sword he has. It's looking like that one. So Grimlock, there we are. Lovely stuff. Comic accurate deco, toy accurate swords. Love it. And now these two, we've got one with a little hose on it and one with a little chip out of the blade. I don't know which one belongs to who, but you can plug them into each other for some reason. Okay, I'm just gonna give that one to Sludge because the tube might have some sludge in it. I don't know. Don't know how much logic needs to come into play in the act of giving swords to plastic robots. There we go. Slug can have the one with the nook out of it because he's the rough and ready one, right? He put a dent in his sword, he never fixed it, and nobody pulled him up on it because they're scared. Right in my own comics here. There we are. Yes. Oh, Dinobots, we love you. Simply must get me a Swoop. Right, follow that swiftly up with the guy the Dinobots hate the most in the world. Oh yes, Decepticon science jerk Shockwave with the head of Optimus Prime and presumably a frightened child. There was some weird and disturbing stuff in this thing, wasn't there? In the original comics, they were not afraid to go weird and terrifying. Ooh, looks like we have some assembly required. Little rack of commas there. Little apostrophe pack. Some kind of tiny pipe, like a little intestine. And just a straight up head of Optimus Prime. I wonder if that can go on, like, Earthrise Optimus. I'm sure it can, but I don't know if I'd want it to. It's got the sad eyes that imply not a very healthy moment for him. But yeah, it's got a ball joint spot, so I imagine you could probably just slide that on if you wanted to. I think the early comics were where Shockwave did most of his bad science stuff, right? Where he got his reputation for being the unethical jerk as opposed to just robot bloke who is Megatron's friend. Oh god, that's really nice actually. Yes, this is Siege Shockwave, wasn't it? Transformers Siege, which, oh, isn't that weird? He's already here, I can't believe it. But yeah, Siege Shockwave was the opposite approach to leader class than Grimlock was. He's a small, tidy, tight action figure with loads of extra gear. Like a bodysuit based on his own body. It's very odd. Like an LSD monster. Oh, it's got too many arms and its feet are made of its shoulders. Oh, I've got 6 pairs of hands, Rick. With the prerequisite siege damage dappling in a very deep aubergine. But I think the price point on this one for the comics is a bit lower. I had a look earlier. I think it's about a 10 or less than the other ones. And that, I assume, is because he simply has the little Optimus sort of science plinth, which I've just assembled. So we have like 6 little insectoid crab hands reaching up onto this, which I assume is where we splomp the Optimus head. Yeah, there it goes. Oh, that's really creepy. I hate it. Little tube into the very distressed looking head, sad eyes and big bags. Oh, you poor thing. Somebody help him. Grimlock, it's up to you. But yes, the main event here is, of course, actual Shockwave, which is a gorgeous action figure. Big fan of this thing. Incredibly posable and just so good looking. Like, Shockwave is just one of the coolest robot designs in any of fiction, based on like a weird toy from Radio Shack. And isn't that so perfect? He's become this force of pop culture, mostly through the comics. He's got this unethical scientist reputation, but in his purest state, he's just a cool space robot that turns into a zappy gun. I mean submarine. No official name on this alt mode, but it is clearly upside down laser gun but not gun. Like, we all know why we can't do Megatron as a real gun, but not being able to do Shockwave as like a silly laser cannon, that seems nuts to me. Let me see if I can convert into submarine mode. This, I know, pops off there. Yep, that's right, the whole chest and head comes forward. Slot that in. Bang it back in there. Yeah, we unplugged that, not on purpose, but it did happen. Arms just kind of smash together up in that direction. Insert them into that and then close it up. Hose plugs in right here. And the legs, I'm pretty sure we spin these around, open up the sides, and concertina them towards the body. These leg flaps, yeah, and these leg flaps swing up and form the, how am I going to say this not sarcastic? I don't think I am. Oh, Shockwave, are you not the ultimate space whatever? But secretly, no. Shush. I do kind of love that they've given him his own face on top there. That's dope. Yeah, you know what? In terms of disguising a laser pistol as a spaceship, I think they've done an okay job. This thing is doing a lot of work. What a toy that is. I love Shockwave, you know? Like, I'm not super into the character, but as a robot, Shockwave, I don't think robot designs get cooler. And his name's Shockwave. That's so dope. That's actually loads simpler than I remember it as well. I think not having all the extra guff actually does it some favors, because this is great, but it's too much, isn't it? There's too much going on and not enough that I'm interested in. But stripped down, back to the bare essentials of Shockwave, that's actually a massive improvement for me. And the colors, that lilac is so tasty. The reflections and the shadows are so sick. And as gimmicky paint jobs go, that's kind of subtle. Like, it's a huge upgrade from the siege damage for me. The little shading on the eye there, that's just on the toy. That's not due to the lighting or anything. He's just automatically got that shadow in there. That's awesome. Like, for me, the siege weathering, I never liked it and it never improved for me. And the cell shaded ones that we mentioned, that was too much. That was all over. But this one, there's just a few highlights on it. There's these reflections and there's this like ink dot dappling there. Sort of retro 80s vibe without being too much. You can't even see it from certain angles. As special edition paint jobs go, that's pretty nice. I'm kind of into that. Thank you, Shockwave. And thirdly, and most absurdly, let's get into Leader Class Transformers Comic Edition Decepticon Straxus. Oh, this is my jam. Like, this is a very sweet spot for me. This is an obscure-ish comic reference. Is it obscure? I don't think so. But it's a deep cut comic reference, and it's also a big blue Decepticon. Yeah, as like comic villains go, I think Straxus isn't obscure anymore. He's just frequently featured on lists of lesser known guys you think should get a toy. Straxus, G-Axis, that happened. That happened. It did though. It did happen. How else would you say it? That event occurred. Anyway, this is a chunky robot. Hell yeah. God, that looks daft, doesn't it? Let's tidy him up a little bit. That is a very stocky lad. Jeez, I don't know if these are supposed to go that way. They look like that in the pack, but for me, that looks better. I don't know what the correct one is, but this is a very large, evil, industrial-looking Decepticon in an irresistibly simplistic sort of blue, red, and grey vibe. It is absolutely wild to me that we have Leader Class Straxus. Because he is a deep-cut character, but he's still high-profile enough. Like Deathsaurus. We have a 180-pound toy of Deathsaurus now, so it's not that weird that Straxus got a toy. It's still not as wild as, like, Flame and Emirate Zaran. They're also in this comic set, but that is much wilder than Straxus, because there is precedent for Straxus existing as a toy. He got one, like, 10 years ago? 14 years ago? Oh, Jesus. But that one, the Generations one, never quite hit the mark for me. I was excited by it at the time, but as a toy, it wasn't that great. It was very sort of overly into itself and sort of not much fun. That whole Generations vibe at the time was very serious business. But this, a big, silly, rotund retool of Kingdom Galvatron in a great big lime green box. That is stunning. And it is a very unlikely product, isn't it? So yeah, Straxus is kind of the top tier, lower rung character, isn't he? He's sort of stock answer to the question, name a Transformer that most people haven't heard of. He was the ruler of a place called Polyhex, and he would capture and melt down Autobots and sort of neutral, innocent characters. There is no mercy in his domain, only death. Alright, Gandalf, Jesus. It's kind of like that moment that the bad guy in Roger Rabbit melts the shoe. It's just that sort of cruelty. That's the kind of guy this is. And we got that slight sort of ink dot dappling there again, which you can really only see if the light hits it right, along with some heavy shadows on the legs and on the arms. But it's really very subtle. The comic lighting here is very understated. So, like, if it does bother you, I think Straxus has it the least. God, what a vessel this thing is. Let me get Galvatron out for a quick compare and contrast. Jeez, that is some serious Decepticon action right here. I'm very fond of this toy, actually, the Kingdom Galvatron. Easily the best Galvatron ever, probably? Yeah, easy. So while I would have enjoyed an original mold for Straxus, that ain't happening, is it? There's no way they're gonna make that happen. We had Skullgrin as well recently, because the old Straxus got retooled into Skullgrin, and now we have a totally different Skullgrin. It's just a different design philosophy, I think. We're going full modern retro here, without the sort of lofty intent of modernizing the design. We're just doing it again with modern technology, and honestly, that's all I want. Let me see if I can transform this lad. I don't know where the pickaxe is going to go. Glad that he has it, but I don't know where it's going to live. Let me see if I can do this from memory. I did break out the instructions for Shockwave, but I'm going to raw dog this one and we'll see if we get it right. Head, by the way, can we just lock in on this head for a second? It's really 2/3 of a head, isn't it? It's got like a haircut, like a pushed back widow's peak, a bit of face, and then it's all neck. Kind of like that. It's a bit like the Bludgeon, isn't it? The Stormbringer Bludgeon vibe. Or Scourge. It's a helmet suspended on mystery. Nah, I can't remember this. I'm gonna have to get him out. Bailing on it. Nice to see the arms are assembled the right way first time here. Lessons learned, I guess. I think they did a running change on Galvatron, didn't they? So a lot of them were right first time. So it'd be weird if they would then go back and get Straxus wrong. Oh, that's neat. So the arms, you fold them in half like so, like he's doing an intense bicep curl. And then this strange little kibble track thing here, that sort of straightens out and just plugs right in. That's very tidy. These are useful, but they're also that sort of deceptive type of instruction where doing that takes 5 steps. So we unclip the back and the other back and the front, and then flip that over. There, now it makes sense. The central cylinder, that's the heart and living, beating soul of this toy, isn't it? I'm gonna need to get Ferrak to go with this, you know? Like, I've brought up Ferrak a couple of times on the channel now, in like, alarmed tones, and people take that as hostility, but it really isn't, because it's so unlikely that character was something anybody was waiting for. But it's also very encouraging, right? If they're going that deep into obscure characters, then surely there's nothing that's not going to be explored. Emirate Zaran, come on. I'm very enthused by the state of current Transformers. Suppose it does also raise the question, where do we go from here? But that's the thing we'll encounter when we do. Anyway, Leader Class Straxus, where's that pickaxe? Slot that on top and spike it up, I guess, just for the fear. Just for the little crown of terror on top of that. Transformers Generations, I reckon, Comic Edition Leader Class Straxus in Space Cannon Death Mode. Oh man, this versus Blaster, a tape deck. Who's your money on? Lovely stuff. Makes no sense. Definitely is Galvatron by a different name. But that for me is friggin' perfect. Pure nerd pandering. A little bit more shading around there. We see you've got the shadow. A little bit more dappling, nice bit of continuity between the back and front of the cannon. That's nice. That's a nice toy. Is that where we're at now? Is that my conclusion? What a nice toy. No, that's wonderful. I'm very impressed and buoyed by the fact that Straxus has a new toy and it's good. A good leader class toy of a character of this tier is very good news. And with that, I think we gain a fair overview of Transformers Comic Edition. Thank you, Hasbro, for letting me check these out. So cheers for watching. This has been Dammit Open with Leader Class Straxus, Shockwave, and Grimlock from Transformers Comic Edition. Check them out if you possibly can. Let me know which of these you'd like a full detailed review on. My name's Thew. I've got to go and get back to work on some other stuff that I was doing, so you better believe I'll be back soon. And until such time, a peace. Oh, lovely stuff. Love an official unboxer. Cheers to all the subscribers who keep it real and watch me do my thing, and to all the patrons and channel members who keep the show going. Thank you, folks. Congrats again to Craig for the Blokies giveaway, and huge thanks and appreciation to Harabek Weathers. Hope I'm saying that right. Massively appreciated, bud. And I'll catch you on the next one.
Be sure to subscribe for more Thew's Awesome Transformers reviews. Limited appeal, keeping it real.